What's up, lads and ladettes? How are we doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastically well. So today, I want to ask a question. Before I ask that question, I'm just going to put some stuff into the reparo dero thingo. I'm going to ask the question: with what we've been told, and with the average that a lot of people tend to see in their loot returns, in my opinion, a new player should be able to profit in the long run from killing just the bury-clad punies and juveniles at Camp Icarus. Now, I know what you're saying, Scott. They're a new player, their looting skills are low, blah 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 blah. But in the long run, a new player just hunting bury-clad punies and juveniles here at Camp Icarus, I think that they should be able to turn a profit. You might not think so, but I'm going to I'm going to do a quick little 10 PED hunt, and I'm going to do a quick little 10 PED hunt, and then I'm going to kind of show the results of that hunt. Now, I know, Scott, your looter level is higher than a new player. I know. But we're talking about long run, yeah? Talking about the long run. So keeping that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up over here, over yonder, right? We're going to come up over here, and I'm going to kill a bunch of bury-clad punies, 10 PED, so I should be able to kill a couple of hundred of them. And then we're gonna discuss the outcome. So, I like hunting these guys. I've been hunting these guys a little bit recently, mainly because they're super cheap, and from my experience, they've had at least for me, they've had a pretty good rate of dropping the Unreal tokens. So that's nice. So that's always good for me. But I honestly think I wish you were allowed to have like a second account, or even if you're if they had like the ability to have like like the ability to scale down temporarily to test stuff. That would be cool. But I digress. I know there are the reasons why you can't have multiple accounts, and it just sucks because you can't test things that you want to test. But we're going off of information that we've received from Mindark as well, and information from people like that I've seen from Mori, like people like Mori K, and what I've seen from like other people, people like Dranny, different people. Now I know we also got to keep in mind the equipment that people are using and all that sort of stuff. And just so you guys know, I'm just using the Z12 Barbarella. I've got no rings on me. Like got nothing. I'm just running a little bit faster. That's it. Okay, because I've got my Harrier that has the 8% run bonus, and I'm also wearing the suit that Lawspade gave me, which makes me run a little bit more speedy, which is nice. But so I'm just using the Barbarella. So the only thing going for me right now that is a little bit more of an advantage, potentially, I haven't seen any concrete evidence on what exactly the looter skill does. I have not seen any concrete evidence whatsoever. None. Zero. There's a lot of speculation, and there's like some correlation, but there's also the inverse, where that like there's a correlation that the higher the looter skill, the more loot that you get. And there's some people that have been putting it in the similar camp as the efficiency parameter on a weapon. The whole the efficiency parameter of a weapon increases your like has an effect on your TT loot from 0 to 7%, some bullshit like that. And you know, there are some things online where people are, you know, speculating that it's the same sort of thing. Right? They're speculating that it's the same sort of thing, but I haven't seen like hardcore proof. No one's like started a new character, like no one's, you know, gotten their friend to make an account. You know, no one's gotten their buddy to make a new character and then track the loot that buddy gets, you know, from all the different levels of looting. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't, like, I haven't seen anything like that. If you have, let me know in the comment section, but I haven't. I really haven't, so it's kind of out. So my looter skill being, like, I don't know, like level 35 might be the only, like, animal looter skill being level 35 might be the only thing. Where is it? 34, sorry. Might be the only thing that gives me a little bit of an edge. Even so, it might only be an edge of like 1.5%. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to finish up this. So I don't think there's anything that's really boosting me forward. Okay? I don't think there's anything really boosting me forward in any way. So I think this should be a relatively decent, comparable sort of thing. In fact, doing the whole 10 PED doesn't really make sense, because in order to reach that, like the average that we're going to be talking about, you got to be like, I don't know, you got to spend like thousands of PED to reach that average with Punies. But anyway, I'm going to finish this hunt, and then we're gonna look at the loot that I got back, and then we're going to look at the information that Mindark has given us before in the past, and then we're going to look at the loot that we got back, and we're gonna discuss. So there should be like a little bit of a time jump. Alright, so we finished, and you know, I've got like 2 shots to spare, which is always nice. Now, obviously, this isn't a show of getting 95% in a return. That's not what this is about. It's more about the composition and then hypotheticals. But before we can talk about the hypotheticals, we got to look at this, right? So, this is here's one of the dev notes from ages ago. Here's dev notes from ages ago. Hunters with a turnover of more than 50,000 peds since September 11 have enjoyed returns of 98.6% on average. Hunters with turnovers of 10,000 to 50,000 ped since September have enjoyed returns of 97.05 on average. Accounts created in 2017 have enjoyed returns of 96.94. Since the changes were implemented. Now, I just got to find the other thingy. Okay, so this is what we want. This bit right here, right? So this is regarding turnover and or return stabilization. The stabilization is kind of what we need to think about. So, Charlie from Mindark said, the amount of turnover isn't very relevant to the average return or volatility in return for any individual player. To reach a stable average return, it's really the amount of loot instances or creatures killed that matters. As an example, if a player kills 2 Sand Kings, spending 5,000 ped to do so, the expected loot returned on those 2 kills can vary greatly. If instead killing 200,000 Punies, also about 5,000 PED, the expected loot return is going to be very close to the expected average of 96% plus, seen in the 2017 group. So, if we take that as gospel, and a lot of other people say it's more around like 94 to 95%, a lot of people tend to agree around the 95%. So if that's true, okay, if that's true, and you got to remember, this is just a thought experimenty thing. Let's say someone took the time and they spent, let's say they took the time, right? And let's say they spent 1,000 PED killing, they cycled through, let's even say 100 PED, hypothetically. killing Buried Punies. They cycled through, they kept recycling their shrapnel, they kept cycling, you know, they kept cycling until they ran out of shrapnel, but they were still at their but they got to their 95% average because they had killed enough Buried Punies and Buried Juveniles to get to their average of 95%. If we were to take that at face value, these guys drop two of the two common items that they drop are the animal muscle oil and the Nova fragments, okay? Now, with the Nova fragments, what I've seen, per 10 PED spent, which gives me like an average of maybe 150 to 200 kills, something like that, probably more. I'll have to track it proper at some point in the future, but I can't be bothered. If you can hear snoring, it's just my dog, you know, she's a very loud snorer. But anyway, so let's say out of 100 PED, right, like cycled through, blah blah blah, all cycled through, we get 95 PED worth of animal muscle oil, right? And then let's say we get 1,850 of these Nova fragments, okay? So if we have a look at the animal muscle oil markup, right now, it's for the months, it's sitting at 103.15. I can generally sell these for around, I could generally get about 105% back, generally. But let's say let's say that it's around 103. We got 2 PED to make back, right? 2 PED to make back. You know, we're at 98%. Let's also include the decay of the weapons and all that sort of stuff. Let's say we, we're sitting at the 95% TT return from what we've spent and all that sort of stuff. Let's say we actually tracked it proper, you know, and we're able to sell and get like 98% back with our animal muscle oil and all that sort of stuff. With the Nova fragments, look at the markup of the Nova fragments. The Nova fragments have been selling for around about 2 PED per K. By the time we get to 100, by the time we get to our cycled sort of stuff, on average, at least I know, on average, I'm going to be close to 2K, right? So I'm going to be able to get pretty dang close to getting 4 PED from these Nova fragments. Let's say 3 PED after the auction fee and all that sort of stuff. So with the 98% plus the extra, we're going to be looking at, like, you know, above the 100% mark. So my question to you guys, and I guess this is kind of the talking point that I want to talk about, should I, for funsies, hunt nothing but Buried Punies for like a week and see what happens? What do you think? What do you guys think? I think it sounds a little bit mad personally, but if you can profit from it, and we're able to show new players that you can indeed profit from these shitty mobs, as long as you are patient and just don't TT everything, we can actually probably finally show people that, no, Mindark isn't trying to steal your money, it's just you being shit at the game and not understanding the fundamentals of how the game works, and then turning around and saying it's Mindark's fault. What do you guys think? I'm going to leave it up to you guys. That's it for me for today, guys. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good shit. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and I'll see you all in the next one.